morning, race fans. Welcome to Backseat Drivers. I'm Alex Weaver here in Studio 3. We'll keep adding to the list of different winners for the 2021 season. 6 playoff spots are taken, and the most recent goes to Ryan Blaney. Is Logano to blame for Larson's fall from Georgia Grace? And we don't think Noah Gragson and Daniel Hemric have made up. Jonathan Merriman is joining me from home, but here in studio, we didn't scare him off. We have Kyle Petty back to join us. Merriman, I do have to remind you, though, Kyle Petty is winning the bet so far in 2021 because Chase Elliott did not win at every road course. So maybe it'll be you in your underwear instead of KP.
Well, we'll chalk this up to age over beauty in terms of who's right here.
Yeah. All right, so let's get right into it. You know how we like to do it here. And Kyle, I'm going to make you start first. This is a segment we like to call left or right turn. Opposite directions require opposite opinions. And here on the back seat, you can disagree. We really like when you argue with Merriman anyways. The most talked about subject coming out of Atlanta happened on Saturday, not on Sunday. An altercation between Noah Gragson and Daniel Hemric. We all saw the footage from pit road over and over and over again. KP, what do you make of the situation?
I think Hemric was just frustrated. I don't see that Noah did anything wrong. If you look at the overhead camera, once again, Daniel Hemric misses his pits, and he ends up in Noah's pit, where Noah's pit crew is out there. I mean, he put that group in danger. So I heard over and over, oh, Noah put the 18 crew in danger. No, he didn't. So Noah backs up. You can't see in those cars. You're in those seats. We've seen this so many in-car cameras. You're in that little cocoon. He backs up. He has to get all 4 tires in his pit box. And those are small pit boxes, okay? So I don't think there was any intent, no intent. And that was something that you had to prove. I think we just saw, once again, Hemric driving for a team that his teammates are winning races and those cars are running up front and he's not. And there was frustration in that moment. And he just thought he would take it out on Noah because Noah seems to be the punching bag at this point in time.
Yeah, Noah can do nothing right here lately. All right, JM, most of the fights at the track you're right in the middle of. Joey Logano and Denny Hamlin, you were right there for it, but you're not at the track right now. So what did you make of the fight between, the swings? I don't know if we can call it a fight between Noah Gragson and Daniel Hemric.
Well, look, first off, I don't think you should, ambush a guy in the middle of an interview, even though it did make for some pretty good video that they got there at the racetrack. But look, to Kyle's point, Noah gets a bad rap. We fuss about these guys being vanilla. We fuss about no personality. But as soon as someone comes out and does something that, if it happened 30 years ago with Earnhardt, we'd be playing on a loop right now being like, oh, man, how badass was Dale Earnhardt doing this stuff? The soon as somebody else does it, who's a young guy, who maybe the older fan base thinks is a little bit of a young punk does it, they start picking on him. I have no problem with that. And look, if you're going to come up to Gragson after the race like that, he is going, to throw hands. We saw it last year with Harrison Burton. So, look, I think he has to draw a line in the sand. If he wants to be a tough guy out there on the racetrack and on pit road, I'm all for it. It gives us something to look forward to. And he's not just that same mundane, boring guy. But, I kind of wish they would have let it play out a little bit more on pit road. But, the crew guys will do what crew guys do and get in there and break it up. But, look, leave Noah alone. Let them go at it if they want to go at it and just sit back and enjoy what happens post-race.
Yeah, here is my thing. I'm not a fighter. I've never been in a fight. But if you come up to me and start shoving me, I guarantee my first reaction is going to be to swing, regardless of what the situation is. But some drivers got involved. Some commentators got involved. We've seen a lot of chatter on Twitter. So, KP, I'm particularly looking at Denny Hamlin for this one. He was not shy about his feelings, taking to Twitter multiple times. So if 23 Racing gets a second car anytime soon, I don't think it'll be Gragson in that one. But taking to Twitter, how do you feel about it?
I look at Noah and I say, Noah is the Joey Logano of the Xfinity Series. How many times have we seen Joey Logano go through this same stuff with Carl Edwards, with Kevin Harvick, with Ryan Newman? So many guys, they thought they could push him, and he pushed back. And Noah just seems, as I said, to be the punching guy. Nobody likes him. Why Denny Hamlin or why Jeff Gordon or why some of these guys chose to be that forceful in their condemnation of what Noah did, I have no idea. Maybe they hadn't seen the video, maybe they do believe that, and then that's okay because everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But what went on there in the end was between Noah and Hemric. And I saw where Daniel Suarez had the best tweet where he said, hockey rules. Until they hit the ground on pit road, they can throw as many punches as they want to. And I agree with that.
Don't get involved. And also, there are people behind the accounts on social media, so a lot of people tend to forget that. Be kind, right, Merriman?
That's why I don't do much on the Twitter anymore.
On the Twitter.
Look, if you say potato, somebody else is going to say potato. So
Always.
That is life. If I'm Noah Gragson or Daniel Hemric, don't look at it. Don't worry about it. If you still have an issue with each other, settle it at the track next weekend.
All right. Well, KP gave me a good segue to the next one because two other drivers who did not leave Atlanta as besties, Joey Logano and Kyle Larson. Larson led over 200 laps. Looked like the car to beat all day long on Sunday. The world was shocked when Ryan Blaney got the lead with 8 to 10 laps to go and would go on to win the race. Larson shared his feelings about Blaney's teammate Joey Logano on the radio and then maybe changed it a little once he actually saw the footage. Kyle, what did you see?
I didn't think that Joey did anything wrong. Joey Logano is a master at restarts. He's a master at picking up positions and blocking and being able to protect his part of the racetrack. He's looking for a late race caution. He's looking for a caution with 8 or 10 laps to go, 10 or 15 laps to go, to be able to get fresh tires, and I'm going to pick up 4 or 5 positions. I'm going to get back in the top 10. So he's not going to give up that position. We saw it early in the race with Daniel Suarez when he raced so hard to stay on the lead lap at the end of that first segment. So your job is not to pull over. I'm sorry, this is called race car drivers, not pullover drivers. Okay, so it just happened that it was the perfect storm, that Kyle Larson catches Joey Logano, who is Ryan Blaney's teammate. And for the conspiracy theorists and everybody that lives on the grassy knoll in Dallas, Texas, okay, they saw something totally different. But for me, I just saw hard racing by Joey Logano, but tell me a race or a lap that you've ever seen Joey Logano run that he didn't drive hard.
All right, Merriman. I can't wait for the pullover 400 that we have later this season. What do you think of Logano, Larson, and Blaney?
I don't think, Joey Logano didn't plan his 500-mile race out by saying, you know what, Larson's going to lead this thing. He's going to dominate. I'm going to get in his way to let Blaney win. But
man, if he did, talk about a good plan he had.
I
need
don't
to ask
think
him lottery
Joey
numbers.
Logano's not losing sleep over it. He was doing his job. He's doing what he has to do. He's kind of got that Ryan Newman mentality. It's not his job to pull over and let you go. If Larson really wanted to get by him bad enough, there's a front bumper on the 5 car for a reason. Move him. I'm not sure that would have helped him anyways. Kyle Larson burned his stuff up, early in that run, racing Denny, racing the 12. If you really want to back it up to where Blaney won the race, it wasn't because of the 2 or the 22. It was because he raced the crap out of Larson on that final restart and burn his stuff up. And if it wasn't for a piece of trash on the grill, I don't think Larson would have led anything in that, last restart on, because Blaney had to get behind him and get the trash off the grill so it didn't overheat. So, it's just one of those things, but, does Logano feel bad about it? Absolutely not.
Well, another driver who unexpectedly struggled at one of his best tracks, hard to believe that I'm even saying this, Kevin Harvick. Statistically, he's the best at Atlanta. Heck, we even have a word for it. It's called Harvicking. What's going on with the Ford? JM, I'm starting with you on this one.
I just think you think about it, that was the 3rd mile-and-a-half race that we've gone to. It's going to take a little while for that train to build a little bit of steam. It's not last season where he won 9 races, right? This is 2021. It's a new year. They have to kick things off. They have to get that ball rolling. But look, he got back behind there a lap down early because of a fluke valve stem issue, and he came back to finish in the top 10. I think a lot of people make a big deal out of him being non-existent in the first 2 stages. The guy still rallied back to finish in the top 10 and in a race where we had a ton of green flag runs. So look, I think him and Rodney Childers are gonna right the ship here pretty soon. It wasn't a dominating Atlanta performance like we expected, but don't start scuttling the boat now. It's not going down. Kevin Harvick will be fine.
Yeah, I think so too. I think there's a multitude of things at play here. I think that he has the dreaded Jimmy Johnson syndrome, where we're comparing everything he's doing in these first 5 or 6 races to those 9 wins and everything he and Rodney did last year. And that was the problem with Jimmy. You can never live up to your past. Last year was a phenomenal year for that team. You can't. That was a career year for anybody. That was a career year for Richard Petty. Okay, so and Dale Earnhardt Sr. That was a great year, but it's going to be tough to back that up. I think they've started this year, and even though we look at it from the outside and compare it to that, they're still having a great year. Just like Merriman said, they rallied back to a top 10 finish. I do believe there could be issues on the horizon, though. And I look at it because they've got Chase Briscoe, a rookie. You've got a sophomore in Cole Custer. And you've got a journeyman driver in Eric Almirola. Kevin Harvick and Rodney Childers can't carry those guys another season. They've got to blend. They've got to pitch in and help elevate the cars, elevate the team. And it seems like they're on an island by themselves sometimes, that they're the only guy. When we look at Joey Logano and Brad Kay as teammates, when we look at Kyle Busch and Martin Truex and Denny Hamlin as teammates, here's Kevin Harvick over here all by himself, it seems like. So I think that's an issue for down the road, but not right now. I don't see any issues with them.
Yeah, we'll call the notebook over at SHR the Childers and Harvick notebook, because that's basically what everybody's going off of over there, that organization. Well, we did ask you at home if Sunday made you worried for the rest of Harvick's season. Let me make sure I get this right, because it was pretty split. 52% said no, they're not worried. 48% said yes, they're starting to get a little worried. I got told to relax at least 40 times in the comments. So I'm relaxed. I'm perfectly relaxed. I think Harvick shows up, but agree with the 52% no worried?
Yes,
Are you on the no side?
I do.
Okay. Merriman, you on the yes or no side?
Yeah, I'm not worried either.
All right. Well, I know we're all hungry for some more racing, and I know Kevin Harvick's ready to get back on track too. He may not be ready for next week. And time for a little rapid fire in the drive-thru. All right, fellas, short and sweet answers. Let's start with this one. KP, I'm starting with you. Hendrick Motorsports had the strongest car for much of the race at Atlanta. Will Hendrick have more wins than Joe Gibbs Racing by the end of the season?
Short and sweet, no.
Okay.
I just think the driver lineup at Gibbs is stronger.
All right, Merriman?
Yes, I think Hendrick is more balanced than Gibbs.
Oh, so Chase balances everything out.
Larson doesn't hurt either, and I think William Byron's finally turning the corner. So,
all right, next up, Josh Berry took a ride in the high grass in the infield at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Some other drivers took to Twitter to talk about how they didn't want to see that on Sunday. So, KP, artificial turf, or are you okay with the grass?
I'm okay with the grass. What's next? They want to eliminate the walls. We're going to eliminate water hazards from the PGA and sand traps. There should be a penalty for not staying on the black part of the racetrack, the black part of the asphalt. No matter what happens to you, there should be a penalty.
Yeah, take the strikes out of baseball, right?
Yes.
All right, JM.
I don't have a problem with the grass. I think it was the perfect storm there. I think he hit a patch of grass that was kind of a little bit higher than really what it should have been, and it launched that car up in the air. So I'm okay with grass if it's not 4 inches above the asphalt. If that makes sense.
I love that. You're okay with grass if you mow it. I love that. That's a great answer.
Like the
Keep it
HOA.
right going. All right, let's look ahead to a race that we've all had circled on the calendar since the day it was announced. Time to get dirty at Bristol. Merriman, what are you expecting from this weekend at the Last Great Coliseum covered in dirt?
Look, I think the hype around this event is huge. I think we should temper our expectations a little bit. It happens, when we used to go to Eldora after that first race when Norm Benning was bouncing off the wall in the LCQ to get in. Everyone's expectations were huge, right? Temper your expectations. These guys do not race on dirt. They are not dirt racers except for a handful. But I will make a bold prediction. I think Kyle Larson's everybody's favorite. I don't think he wins that race.
Kyle, what do you expect from Sunday?
It's such an anomaly. It's such a different animal than what a cup race usually is, the way they're running. They're running it like a dirt show, which is more power to them, because I think there is a lot of hype. And I agree with Merriman. There's no way it's going to live up to that hype. At the same time, it reminds me of the old days of NASCAR when we used to run only 2 or 3 road courses, and there were only 4 or 5 drivers in the field who knew how to stay on the black stuff and out of the grass at the road courses. And the Tim Richmonds, the Ricky Rudds, the Rusty Wallaces, guys like that. So as I move to this, I look at Ricky Stenhouse. He's my guy. He's going to be my guy. I think he understands this. He's done it. I've ridden in a two-seater sprint car with him. He scared me to death, so he's my guy to take it. JTG, we talk about parity. JTG gets a win here and puts their name on that list to maybe be one of the 25 winners we have this year.
I think your NBC friend, Brad Doherty, will be excited about
Yes.
that one. All right, Merriman, I want to start with you because you said that this surprise is going to be Larson not winning. Kyle just gave a little bit of a heads up to his pick for this Sunday, but Larson is pretty much picked by everybody. So no to the 5?
I mean, especially if you're playing fantasy, I think you need to avoid what everyone else is doing just because if something
Look at you
happens.
being a rebel.
Well, I mean, if something happens to Kyle, I think there's more benefit to going against the grain and maybe having someone else, that people don't necessarily pick. But yeah, I mean, I think everybody's going to be looking at that 5 car, but there's 39 other guys to be keeping an eye on out there. So I think your value is to stay away from the 5. I'm picking Christopher Bell.
All right, so you don't have him in your lineup at all?
Yeah.
No Larson in the
He's too
lineup.
good on
All
the
5
mile and a
drivers,
half
no
track.
Kyle Larson.
He's too good on the 1.5 miles to put in your lineup at a Bristol dirt track where we.
Ooh, that's tough, man.
The dirt guys, too good
That's
at
gutsy.
1.5 miles. So
That's
what?
gutsy. You got Briscoe, you got Stenhouse, you got
Christopher
Bell, Austin Dillon. As I said, I think he's pretty good. Larson, I mean, that's a pretty good lineup for fantasy.
Hey, Kyle Busch was in that event this
Kyle
past
Busch.
weekend. Corey LaJoy was there.
Ooh.
Got a lot of unexpected. All right, Merriman, you threw it out already. Let's get your Bristol dirt pick. Give me a definite answer.
Christopher Bell. I also think Bubba Wallace is going to be a great value pick here too.
It's not a definite answer.
It's a definite answer. I'm taking the 23 in my lineup, and I'm taking the 20 to win.
Okay. KP.
Okay, so I will go with I'm going to go with Ricky Stenhouse. Again, I'm going to go with Ricky Stenhouse. I just think, I went with him to Memphis to a place called The Ditch, and he I'm telling you, he scared me to death in the sprint car. So I'm going to go with him. And my sentimental pick is Chase Elliott. Just because of you, Merriman. Just because
What's
of you.
your address? I got a pair of underwear I'm going to send you.
Love it. All right. Well, I'm going to take the low-hanging fruit here. I'm going with Kyle Larson on a dirt track because what did Kyle Larson do all offseason? Win on dirt tracks. So that's my pick. Kyle Larson.
Good pick.
5. Sunday will be a show you do not want to miss. The Last Great Coliseum is going to get a little bit dirty. We're racing on dirt at Bristol Motor Speedway. Make sure you tune into all the action this weekend, but the big show is Sunday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern on Fox. You're not going to want to miss it. Kyle, thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here on the Backseat.